At Wrestling Team has a couple of questions about him. Number one, if you were to meet Punk at the Dan Gable Museum, what would you ask him?
I'd probably ask him who his favorite feud was with.
I would probably ask him to tell me an embarrassing story about Colt Cabana. Where would you put Punk if you ran a wrestling company that consisted of the Attitude Era locker room? And would you make him a face or a heel? Mid card, because you think about some of the people he could potentially feud with. He could feud with a Rikishi. He could feud with the New Age Outlaws in some capacity. He could have been the leader of Right to Censor. He could have feuded against the Godfather. I would have definitely put him in the mid card, and I think he would have done very, very well in that time frame, probably as a heel.
Yeah, his mic skills would have carried him over as a heel.
And he'd been fit great in the mid card, and we would have had no pressure to put him in the main event scene because who were you going to bump out in his
place to
put him in there? Is CM Punk worthy of going into the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame at the Dan Gable Museum? I don't know because we're kind of confused. Guys with amateur backgrounds such as Eddie Guerrero and Sergeant Slaughter and the Iron Sheik aren't in there.
Yeah, so it's really iffy if they consider putting CM Punk in there.
Who knows what the fuck they're thinking sometimes. At Stephen Toth 18, if you could put Punk against any wrestler past or present, who would it be?
Macho Man.
I'll take the easy way out and say Austin, although Macho Man would probably be number 2. At Javier Artabo, what would you have done to make CM Punk's 434-day title reign more legit?
Well, step 1, don't have him run away from every fight. Don't do this typical chicken shit, coward heel where he runs away all the time.
Or maybe not turn him heel to begin with, or at least keep him maybe a tweener if he wasn't going to be the cookie cutter, bland vanilla babyface. Maybe have him actually beat John Cena legit 100% clean. Booking him in the main event as the champion more often than not. Those are maybe things you could have done to help make his title reign a little more legit. At the Macho Punk 555, when CM Punk inevitably goes into the WWE Hall of Fame, in your opinion, who would induct him? Colt Cabana.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's his best friend.
It makes sense, but
only other person maybe would be Paul Heyman.
Yeah, that would what I was going with.
They'll probably give us John Cena.
And had so many matches together.
At _RuckFools_. How much of a bigger star do you think Punk would be had they done the Summer of Punk right, and would he be bigger than Cena? He'd have been a much bigger star.
If when he walked out with the title...
Yes, well, that's what he's getting.
Yeah, I know. If he'd stayed away for a while, and if Triple H hadn't had to get involved in that storyline when he came back, yeah, Punk would have been a lot better off.
Would he be bigger than Cena? Maybe, maybe not. That's kind of the woulda, coulda, shouldas. I think the WWE would have made sure that once Punk got to that point where he was threatening him, they'd have knocked him down just a little bit to remind him who the real HNICs were. If Punk could face anyone outside of the WWE, who would you like to see him face?
Jeff Jarrett.
Fuck you. Rob Van Dam, up yours.
That was going to be my second choice.
No.
No, I'd actually like to see a match between him and Kurt Angle.
Yeah, that would be one. Maybe Austin Aries, Jeff Hardy. I know they feuded before, but that feud was really fucking good. I wouldn't mind seeing that again. AJ Styles, obviously. Those would be a few of the guys I would think of. Maybe Robert Roode as well. At Colorado MMA fan, do you think CM Punk's straight edge persona would have worked in the Attitude Era, in particular as a heel? Yes.
Yes, that was entertaining.
Especially yes, as a heel. At Disco Ben, what was Punk's best title reign? It wasn't a long one. It was a short one. It was when he was World Heavyweight Champion feuding with Jeff Hardy. I swear to God, that was my favorite. I thought that was his best title reign. They were booking him in the main event. I think that was his best title reign, believe it or not. What was the highest and lowest point for the Straight Edge Society? One of the lowest points would probably be when Punk lost to Ray at WrestleMania 26.
Yeah.
High points would have been that fucking, what was that? What Raw was that? Was that the 15th? No, it wasn't the 15th anniversary show, or was it? I think it was the 15th anniversary show where they had Austin's music hit, but he didn't come out. Yeah, that would be That would definitely be.
Another highlight is when they did the Royal Rumble and Punk was sitting in the ring. I can save you! Oh, hold on, I gotta go throw this guy out.
That fucking CM Punk was awesome. At Daniel T. Sewell, do you think Punk would have thrived in the Ruthless Aggression era? Yes.
Yeah.
Main event? Maybe, maybe not. But he would have thrived, I think. At Mark_the_Fish, was it a good idea, Punk shaving his head? Do you think it improved his image? No.
No, I think it hurt him more than anything else.
It was stupid. I mean, his hair and its length was kind of his persona. It was kind of... No, I'm not a fan of him shaving his head, frankly. I thought it was stupid. Should I get a Pepsi Cola tattoo like Punk?
If you want a yin-yang that's also associated with Pepsi on your arm, go for it.
All I can say is get it because you want to get it, and as long as you want to get it and you don't think it's something you're ever going to change your mind about, that's when you know you've got the right tattoo for you. At Peter Jacobs 93, what do you make of CM Punk's comments about not killing Paul Bear when asked about the Ashes segment? I would rather forget about anything pertaining to CM Punk and the Paul Bear shit and the urn, because I thought it was dumb.
It was thrown in there to get cheap heat and
didn't work. At Sir_Trevington, which do you think would have been a better match, Punk versus HBK or Punk versus Eddie Guerrero? From a pure performance match, probably Punk versus HBK.
yeah.
If you went into Eddie Guerrero's demons and talking about the drug use and Punk with straight edge Punk, maybe the feud between Punk and Eddie would be better. But Punk and HBK could have had a real hell of a feud too. So, an interesting question there. At Ben_Stanley, who would you choose as Punk's opponent in a Brawl for All match? Who would I like to see get knocked the fuck out? Oh, crap. Who would I like to see? Fucking Randy Orton, because either way...
That's the answer I was going with.
I'll give you somebody else.
Big Show.
What? You want to see a Punk get knocked the fuck out? At Sans Joseph, do you think Punk should have beat The Rock the first time, then dropped the title to him?
I think so. I think everybody knew going into it that The Rock was going to win, that it would have been a nice swerve if they would have had Punk retain that pay-per-view, and then maybe lose at the next pay-per-view.
Suppose it depends on your perspective. Maybe if they would have booked him better as a champion, put him in the main event more, he actually would have beat John Cena clean. You know, maybe him losing to The Rock clean isn't such a big deal. You know, I thought it was the right thing to do at the time, but I get why a lot of other people maybe didn't like it. So, if he would have beat him maybe via count-out or DQ or some other bullshit and then lost to him at Elimination Chamber, fine, so be it. I wouldn't have complained too much. At Jordan Tabanor, should Vince have had Punk appear on and or wrestle for other promotions during his Disappearance storyline in 2011?
It would have made the storyline a lot more believable and more interesting.
Would have given it some legs, would have given it some mileage. He made one or two appearances, but is it really a Disappearance storyline when the guy was only gone for 8 days?
No, not really.
Yeah, no, it was... I think we have to be realistic here. Even if you love Punk, and even if you are a dyed-in-the-wool WWE sheep, you really have to acknowledge the fact that the WWE really screwed the pooch and shit the bed all over on that one. That was... I think we'll look back on that in 10 or 15 years if we're no longer watching wrestling. That'll be one of those storylines that I'll look back and I'll say, you know, that was a point in time where they could have really hooked me for 3 to 5 years.
Oh, yeah, because that had a great build going into it. And then no payoff.
There was no payoff. It was, we got to sell SummerSlam. Then you put the belt in ADR and then shit got stupid.
Bigger if you would have saved it.
Yes, so many different things they could have done other than what they did, but what's done is done. But I don't even call it a Disappearance storyline is my point. It was 8 frickin' days. It was terrible. At Legendary AP, with Punk's rumored return to be around SummerSlam, do you see him having another long title reign?
Well, somebody's got to get the belt off Cena, I guess.
See, first question is going to be, is he going to be a face? Is he going to be a heel? Is he going to be a tweener? What are they going to do with him? Do I think they're going to give him a long title reign of anything longer than 3 or 4 months? No, I don't really think so.
Yeah, I think we're back to hot potato with the belt.
Unless he was on SmackDown, maybe, and he was the top guy over there, then maybe you would have him carry it for 6 or 7 months. Just perhaps. At T-Bar121, what was your guys' first thoughts about CM Punk when you saw him debut on ECW? I had heard some about him. To be honest with you, I hadn't seen a whole lot of him, just a little bit of him. When I saw him actually in ECW, I thought his gimmick was fucking stupid. I saw him perform, and I'm like, this guy could be a pretty good performer. He could be probably a decent-sized star, but his gimmick is really dumb, and it doesn't work for me, and it's kind of how it was. But I saw the talent there. I saw the potential there. And the good thing about him was he came with his own audience. That's the one thing about him and Daniel Bryan and guys like that. Is one thing they come with for sure is they already come with a certain audience, even if it's a smaller portion, that is dedicated, dyed-in-the-wool believers in them. And behind them, that's something that some other guys just can't claim. At El Francisco 96, did you watch the Best in the World CM Punk DVD?
No.
No, have not yet.
It's on my queue on Netflix, but I haven't watched it.
Haven't gotten around to watching it. I had actually started to watch it, got about 15 minutes in one night, watching it online, and I fell asleep, and I never went back to watching it. I've heard a lot of really good reviews on it. Are those really good reviews because a lot of people on the internet love CM Punk, or was it legitimately that good of a DVD? That's what I don't know yet. I mean, how many people have you talked to that have actually watched it?
Maybe one or two, but they were diehard CM Punk fans.
So like Justin from Trio Woe Show.
Right. And Vente Kid.
Oh, okay, yeah. So those two ladies, they liked it?
Yeah, they loved it. I mean, not as much as To Catch a Predator. I mean, the Randy Orton DVD, but...
Someday in 2013, I may actually watch Randy Orton's DVD. Just throwing that out there. And if I do, I assure you, there will be a full, comprehensive, in-depth, exhilarating DVD review.
What if we get you the 3-disc Jeff Jarrett thing?
Number one, that fucking egomaniac. Didn't he do 4 discs because he was a D-bag?
Yeah, but we'd only make you sit through 3 of them.
That's more than enough. No, I would not watch and would not review.
What if we got the special one that came with the guitar?
No, because how about this? How about you watch a 5-disc set of Christian's greatest highlights? Shut the fuck up. At Gorham Nerds. I'll find them. Captain Charisma, Christian Cage.
Are you going to go back? You're going to go back to his TNA days when he was actually better?
Yes, I'll go back to that.
Okay,
too.
I'll watch that.
But that's only going to be 1 disc. At Gorham Nerd, what do you feel was CM Punk's greatest WWE match before becoming best in the world? Best match. Jeff Hardy SummerSlam 2009 is my favorite. So, I'll go with that. That would be my favorite. Is that all the questions for CM Punk?
Yep.
Either we flew through them really quickly or whatever the case might be. But I hope that CM Punk enjoys the next few months off.
Yeah.
He's deserved them.
Exactly. I mean, the guy's been around. He gets a break. We get a break from him. Hopefully they repackage him well when he comes back.
Gee, I wonder what other individual they could apply those tactics to.
Could it be the top guy in the company?
You mean the subject of our next Q&A video, which you're just now finding out about. That's why you have that dumbfounded look on your face. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We've talked about CM Punk, your top guy. Now we're going to talk about the WWE's top guy at our next Q&A. So make sure you go on Twitter and submit your questions about the leader of C Nation himself, John Cena. Hashtag John Cena. We will even we'll just take hashtag John Cena. That's enough. But submit your questions on there. I can't wait to see some of those questions. Please don't make every single question, though, about John Cena and a heel turn. Let's try to diversify, cover his whole career, highlights, low points, all and everything, not just focused on whether or not he should turn heel and when that's going to happen and how we would do it. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Alrighty, so Mike, Schlag Daddy, We're out of this bitch. Can't wait to see some of the questions for the next Q&A about John Cena.